So if we distribute, we get 2x minus 8 plus 3 equals 3x plus 3 plus 1. So add like terms, negative 8 and positive 3 is negative 5 equals 3x plus 4. So if we subtracted our 3x over, add our 5 over, and get negative x equals 9, so divide by negative 1, so x is negative 9. On this one, I only made you identify the conditional, or the contradictions and identities, but remember, if you solve it and you get an actual number answer, then that is a conditional equation. Is that one okay?
Yeah.
Number 4, this is a good one to talk about. We have had some trouble with these in the past. So when I'm looking at this, the strategy you guys picked was to try to get rid of all the fractions. And so when I look at my denominators, 5 and 2, if I want to get rid of both of those, we have to multiply everything times 10.
That's not right.
I swear you told me 5 yesterday.
Ow!
You just stabbed me.
So you have to take each term times 10. It's like distributing a 10 through each side. So 5 times 10, 50, minus, okay, so 10 divided by 5 is 2. So we have 2 times this 3x minus 4.
6x minus 8.
Over here, 10 divided by 2 is 5. So we have 5 times the 7 minus 2x.
35 minus 8.
Okay. So if we distribute, also make sure when you distribute this, you take a negative 2 through. So that's a negative 6x plus 8. Alright, so combine like terms, so we have negative 6x plus 58 equals 35 minus 10x. So get your x's on one side and your numbers on the other. So we get 4x equals negative 23. Divide, and x is negative 23 over 4.
I love your handwriting.
It's kind of sloppy sometimes.
Well, I like it.
Oh, well, thank you.
Right on. I like your handwriting.
I think that's the most insulting thing you could ever say to them.
Really? I think
Almost like Comic Sans.
no, Comic Sans is fluid. It's consistent.
It's true.
It's funny.
I didn't mean it as an insult.
Okay. So sometimes I ask you to solve for a particular variable. This one I'm asking you to solve for x. So if I want to get the x by itself, it's slightly different than a lot of the others in that we have multiple x's. So you need to get everything with an x on one side and everything without it on the other. So we have ax plus 5bx equals 2az minus 3by. These both have an x, but they're not like terms because the other variables don't match, so I can't actually add them together. What do we have to do instead?
Or a common denominator. Or a common, take out x.
Yeah, greatest common factor. If we take out the x, then you have a plus 5b left.
That's why.
You get it over there, Noah?
Good.
So you have x times something, so to get x by itself, you can divide by that thing. So we have 2az minus 3by
Thanks.
over a plus 5b. All right, so the first page is good. Nothing else you guys want to add to that list that we need to go through. So you will have solving equations on your test.
That's like the one part I'm not worried about.
Well, that's good.
Slope it or.
On your quiz, the one thing that I noticed with the solving equations, when I ask you to identify if it's an identity or contradiction, make sure you're also giving me the solution. So when it's an identity, what's our solution? All real numbers. When it's a contradiction, what's our solution? No solution. So make sure you're including both pieces there. That was really the only mistake that I saw with those on the
It
quiz.
is all real numbers and it's not a solution.
Correct.
Yeah, they kind of mean the same
Okay.
thing.
So use it either.
Yeah. All right, so then we got into distance, midpoint formulas. I told you I would give you those. Writing the equation. Nobody asked about number 10. Do we need to go over standard form? Okay, that might be a good thing. So I am going to actually start.
Oh, shoot.
Okay, so I kind of broke this question into pieces, but I could have very easily just said write the equation of the line between these 2 points. If you're going to write the equation of the line, what do you have to do first?
Find slope.
Slope. And everybody remembers how to find slope? This was problem number 7, the actual
Yes.
finding slope. Y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So we get 7/4 for the slope. So then, to write the equation, I'm going to do problem 11 next. So actually writing the equation, y equals mx plus b form, you take your slope at one of your points. And if I plug into y equals m times x plus b. So if I add that over,
23/4.
so that's my y-intercept. So our equation on number 11 would be y equals, the slope was 7/4 x, plus the y-intercept is 23/4.
Oh, I didn't get it wrong. I just wrote it in off fraction.
I mean, in decimals okay, I just prefer the fraction. Okay, from there, if I ask for the standard form, which is what question 10 did, standard form is ax plus by equals c. In this, you can't have any fractions or decimals. A has to be a positive. So I start with my equation from problem 11. So standard form, I need the x on the same side, so I can subtract that over. So we have negative 7/4 x plus y equals 23/4. Standard form says no fractions, so I have to take everything times 4. But I also need my a to be positive, so we're going to take it all times
-4.
-4. So we get 7x minus 4y equals 22.
I can't remember how to do that.
Alright. Is that one okay? Alright, number 12. So tell me about horizontal and vertical lines. What's a horizontal line look like?
Straight up.
Only touching
Y-intercept.
Horizontal.
Horizontal. What's the equation look like?
Y
Y equals something. What's the slope of a horizontal line?
Zero.
0. Everybody better be paying attention to me right now. So, what's a vertical line look like?
Only on the x.
Okay. What's the equation look like?
X equals.
What's the slope of a vertical line?
Undefined.
Okay. So when I look at this, part A, I want the vertical line. You just told me that a vertical line is x equals something. If it goes through this point, your x has to be -2. B, the horizontal line. So you told me horizontal was y equals something. So if it goes through this point, the y has to be square root of 3. All right. Is that okay?
That's what I did wrong. I switched it.
You sloped your x and y.
Yep. Well, I was just being dumb and like horizontal, vertical, and didn't know which one.
Gotcha.
I hate them.
All right, number 13. Okay, we have to go through this point.
What was wrong with number 13?
All right, part A says parallel to this line. If lines are parallel, what does that tell us?
Same slope.
Same slope. Brian, would you put that away, please? Thank you. So, what's the slope of this line?
5/4.
5/4. So parallel means I'm just going to use that slope. That's the only thing you need this line for. I've seen people like trying to use the y-intercept off that. We don't need it. We only needed that for the slope. So now we have a point and a slope. So plug into y equals mx plus b. So subtract that over. So b is -7. So our equation is 5/4 x minus
I
7.
could have sworn we went over it. It had a different answer. Because I picked this one because we got it wrong. And we put the same answer that we got. I think that had like, was it like 6/5 or something like that? Those are fractions.
That's for part B.
Oh, snap.
6/5. 26 fifths. What I got.
Yeah.
Or you're just looking at the wrong.
I was on the wrong part, yeah.
Okay.
You silly.
Part B, we want to be perpendicular to this. So what do you know about perpendicular? So the slope of this is 5/4, so the line perpendicular would be -4/5. And that's all we want that line for. So now take our point and our slope. So y equals m times x plus b. That is very sloppy. So we get -16/5.
Ooh, thanks.
So you add that over and you get -6/5 for the y-intercept. Again, you're using this new slope, the perpendicular slope, when you write it. So it's -4/5 x minus 6/5.
Thanks.
Oh, do we have
It's a
to?
positive.
Yes, it is positive 6/5 because we added that over.
You
I got that
want
wrong.
us to write it like
I
that.
had it right.
In
I
like
just
the
forgot
y
what
equals
it
x plus b form, we can't just give you the answer.
was.
Right. The answer is the equation, so you
Okay.
need y equals mx plus b.
I had it wrong.
Okay.
I just like didn't use. I used a decimal and then got a different answer.
Oh, interesting. Should have gotten the same thing, but
The wrong decimal thing.
I got 26 fifths. I might have typed in something wrong.
Maybe
that's
you
quite
got that
possible.
wrong.
I think you probably right here had a +2 instead of a -2, and that would have given you 26/5 when you brought it over. 14 you guys didn't ask about, so you can look at a graph, give me domain, range, intercepts, all of that. We don't need to go over
With
it.
ease.
Hmm?
With ease.
Okay. And you guys know interval notation. When do you use a parenthesis?
If it's open dot.
Okay, and brackets.
Closed.
Okay, and make sure your brackets are those square brackets. It's not a solution set. It's not the squiggly bracket.
Those are braces, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. 16.
Too rapid. It's asleep.
All right, so part A, I said f of -5. This negative out in front, you could think of that as like a -1x squared. So when I say -5, you're doing -1 times -5 squared minus 7 times -5 minus 22. -5 squared is 25 times -1 is -25 plus 35 minus 22.
-12.
We get -12. If you missed it, I'm going to bet it was probably that negative out in front that caused it.
And they did.
I hope I got this part right. What's on that?
All right, so B, we're plugging in an a minus 3 for the x.
Weird. So you have to foil it.
Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot about foiling.
So this is like a -1. A minus 3 squared means you have 2 of them. So we have a -1. This would be an a squared minus 6a plus 9. All right, distribute the -7 here. All right, then if we distribute the negative, and combine like terms. So we have a -a squared
I might have got this wrong. Unless you
minus
just signed.
a
Oh.
minus 10. Yes, if you can't just drop it, but you could have -1 parentheses a squared plus a plus 10.
Yeah, I did get it wrong. And it's all because of sign.
The negative out in front.
Yeah. I didn't distribute it.
I forgot about foiling.
I love numbers.
All right.
No.
So you guys are good with 17 and 18?
I don't even know if I missed any on the back. On the
I go out with
I can stop paying attention.
Well, that's nice.
I know I got the first one right, but then I was wrong or something. So
All right, let's talk about problem 20. We have had a lot of these mixture problems. So let's see if we can figure this one out. When you are solving these mixture problems, we always set it up with a table, and what formula do we put across the top?
Come out here.
I am not giving you that, so you have to know it.
You're gonna split midpoint and distance?
Yes, sir.
Or two more.
Yes, sir.
What about?
No, sir.
What about split?
Okay,
That was
What do you give us split?
so it starts out, how many pounds of hamburger that's 7% fat? So how many pounds? So I do not know my amount, that's X. 7% would be,
0.07.
must be mixed with 30 pounds of hamburger that is 15% fat. So amount is 30, concentration.
0.15.
To obtain a mixture that is 10% fat.
0.1.
So that's 0.1, and this would have to be
X plus 30.
X plus 30 or 30 plus X.
30.
So then if we multiply,
What's the next?
4.5. 3 plus 5. I forgot you.
I show my work.
I don't.
I don't.
So you add the first and second to equal your total.
Yeah, I just let people wonder how I got these random numbers. I don't show.
I went to Costco.
So 0.07x plus 4.5 equals 0.1x plus 3.
Yeah.
So if I subtract over my 3, subtract my 0.07, get 1.5 equals 0.03x.
Divide. Give me the big number.
Get x to be 50.
Okay.
Make
so
sure,
I got negatives, but I got 50 because they were both negative.
yes, that's okay.
Okay. As long as I got the same thing, it's fine.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know about you.
All right, so make sure when you write your sentence you answer the question. So on this one, we asked how many pounds of the extra lean hamburger, so there must be 50 pounds.
I like how you look to the top of the page like you're right.
I started to.
OBS.
Yeah, I had that one right, but then I messed up adding the
Oh.
0.1 to the 0.07.
Issue that I saw is where to put the 60.
No,
So we have amount
I'm so tired.
times concentration equals the amount pure.
Person that had a crush. Had.
Guys,
Wait, can you pull the microphone thing back up so that it's set up?
Bless you.
Okay, so we are going to mix 5% and 20%. It said how much 5%, so that's X, should be mixed with 20% to get 60 milliliters of 10%. So the 60 is my 10%, so then what goes here?
69%.
You're gonna ask somebody else.
Yeah.
So then we multiply,
Sorry. Friday.
add the first two to equal the total. So we get 0.05x plus 0.2 times 60. Okay, add like terms, and you get
15, 15,
Equals -6.
subtract over, and then divide, and you get
40.
40. So then you write your sentence and you should have 40 milliliters. Okay, here's your next question.
No. My next question is, are we ready to be done?
Actually, are we gonna have homework tonight?
No.
So I am going to put a graph up here.
It's not birthday, we can't. We can't.
What? Line. Chicken bone.
Dude, I actually think I'm not even gonna-
Okay, so let's say I give you this. I want domain, range,
I don't wanna.
X-intercept, Y-intercept. That's best you
What
can
are these lines
approximate.
called? I forget the name of them. Because we did them last year.
This
Parabola?
graph, this
Yeah.
is like a square root function,
Oh.
or a variation of it.
Does it stop at that point at -3, -2?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, here's all the stuff I want you to find from that graph.
Ah!
So domain. Domain goes left to right. So this thing starts at -3,
Bracket.
closed circle so it's a bracket, and it keeps going forever so it goes to positive infinity. Infinity always gets prints. Range, we go from the bottom up, so the lowest point is -2, and it keeps going up forever, so -2 to infinity. X-intercept, about where does this hit the x-axis?
1.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell. I was shooting for 1. If you put something between 0.5 and 1, I would take it here. On the test, it'll be a much clearer graph. Y-intercept, where do I hit the y-axis?
-1.
What?
F of -3. This is saying when x is -3, what's y? So x is -3, the y is -2.
I did that one correctly. See, I knew I did wrong the last time.
All right.
Don't do it. No. Come on, we got 5 minutes left.
I thought it'd be like 8.
That's not even enough time to do one from the problem.
We love and appreciate you.
Especially a problem that has what?
Yeah, you're
gonna
our
be like
friend.
2 parts? Oh my
Friend?
gosh.
Buddy, friend?
No.
Midpoint? Oh no! No, I
You
did
had to give
that.
us the formulas at least.
Yeah,
Oh, you're right.
You were so quick to say that. You had to give us a formula at least.
You gotta give us the formula at least. Oh, why is there C?
No, see, no.
All right. Do those 3 things.
Can you give us the formulas?
Don't you have them on your study guide?
Yeah, but don't you?
No, swear that.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Ryan. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You stuck up on me. I was gonna drink it. Hey, birthday, Ryan. What? Jumped in my pants.
All right. Did you get -44 for your midpoint?
Yeah.
Okay. Distance. We set that up. Negative 2 minus negative 6, so plus 6. 3 minus 5. So 4 squared is 16. Negative 2 squared is 4. You get the square root of 20, but you cannot leave it that way. Why?
You can simplify it.
That breaks into a 4 and a 5, so you get 2 radical 5.
Yeah.
All right, equation. What do we need to do first?
Find the slope.
Slope. So
Negative
y sub
1/2.
2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1.
Already in advance.
I'm birthday man, man. You're the birthday guy.
Guys, I'm really trying to help you prepare for the test, and right now, I don't care if I never spend another day reviewing with you before a test. I've spent my entire class period trying to talk over you. This is not for me. I know how to do this stuff. So we have our slope. So then we take one of our 2 points, plug it into y equals mx plus b. So our y is 5, m is negative 1/2, x is negative 6, plus b. So your y-intercept is 2.
I had 2. Negative 2 minus.
That would be our final.
You have to subtract your 3.
Well, I used the other point.
She did. That's how she got 2.
Oh, shoot, right.
Right.
Huh, I did
Why
something.
did I get
Oh, well.
negative 2?
I was bad at that.
Oh, never mind, yeah. No, yes, no, yes.
But we multiply equal 1.
Very
minus 1.